Melissa Allen, A-L-L-I-N, Allen.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you turn on video, ma'am?
Yes.
Morning. Ma'am, you had a red light or other traffic control device violation in 2020. That's what you're here for today. You can plead guilty, nolo, or not guilty. If you plead guilty or nolo, we'll impose a fine and give you time to pay it. Mr. Tipton is the prosecutor for this case. Do you have a fine recommendation, Mr. Tipton?
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommends a $50 fine.
Ms. Jones, if you'll make me a co-host, I can mute people as I see them interrupt. At any rate, Miss, is it Allen?
It's Alan. Yeah.
Okay, Miss Allen, if you want to plead guilty or nolo, I would impose the $50 fine that was recommended, but there are surcharges that get added to the fines. So you're looking at actually paying somewhere close to $75 or $80. Can you pay that amount within a month if you plead guilty or nolo? And do you want to plead guilty or nolo?
Can I ask for just a little clarification on the NOLO thing? So if I pay it and I do the NOLO thing and it doesn't add points to my license, because I've never gotten a ticket in Georgia in like the last 8 years, would it like affect my
gonna call me?
and stuff like that?
I can leave.
I'm sorry, someone's
Okay.
interrupting.
Thank you.
Sorry. I'm a rideshare
Hang
driver.
on, someone's not muted and they're just talking away, interrupting us. Please make sure, everybody, other than Miss Allen, that your audio is muted. Gosh, I'm sorry, what's your question? Does it affect your insurance? Is that what you were asking me?
Yeah, like would it report back to my insurance?
We don't report, the court never reports things to insurance companies, but our records are open records. So if your insurance somehow checks your record, then it would be available to them, or they may or may not have access to your driving history through Department of Driver Services. I don't know. Also, you may have an obligation through your policy to report if you get a moving violation, conviction, or nolo plea. But those generally are things that you have to investigate on your own. We don't deal with insurance issues.
Okay, and the only other question I had, if I did go not guilty and went to a trial, would I be able to see the video? The officer had said that if I went to court, that I would be able to see the video. I tried going, like I drove an hour each way and it was kicked because of COVID. And then I tried doing the online dispute thing and it wouldn't take my payment. So would I be able to see the video if I went to court, you know? I'm sorry.
Alan, whether or not there is a video and whether or not the prosecutor would choose to show a video would be up to them. They have the burden of proof at a trial, and how they present their evidence obviously is up to them. If you believe there is some sort of video of you running,
I don't think I did run the red light.
A red light or not, then you can also, through the power of the court, compel the production of that video for your use at a trial. But those are issues that either the prosecutor would have to make a decision about, or you could try to obtain the video to show at trial.
Okay. I guess I'll go with not guilty then, because I don't think that I ran it,
Okay.
honestly.
All right. Obviously, we must have your correct address since you got this notice. Just make sure the clerk always has a valid address for you. They'll mail out notice of the next court date when they get that scheduled.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, Miss Allen.
Thank you.
Jasmine Anthony present.
So, Adeyemi Aro.
Mr. Aro, you had a tag violation and a stop sign violation in 2020.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a valid tag on your vehicle now? Mr. Aro, do you have a good tag on your car?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to plead guilty or nolo? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me inquire, Mr. Tipton, on the stop sign. What's your fine recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $50 fine on the stop sign failure to yield.
Want to plead guilty or nolo to that and pay around $80 for a fine for the stop sign, sir? Or do you want to plead not guilty to everything?
Okay, $80 for the stop sign.
How do you want to plead for the stop sign?
I feel guilty.
Okay. And Mr. Tipton, are you willing to dismiss the tag violation since he's corrected that problem?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Aro, can you pay the fine plus surcharges? Again, that's probably going to be around $80 by March the 25th to our clerk.
March 3. Oh, what is the date, ma'am?
Can you pay the fine plus surcharges, which is going to total around $80 to our clerk by March the 25th, a month from now?
Okay, March 26.
1 month from now, March 25th.
Okay, okay.
Okay. What is your
I-
email? We can email you the information about how to pay. What is your email?
Email arousa63@yahoo.com.
All right. Our clerk is going to email the payment instruction information and the total amount due to that email address today.
Oh, okay.
And if you have questions, there will be a phone number on there for you to call.
Okay.
Any other questions of me?
No more question. Thank you very
All right,
much.
you can sign off of Zoom, sir.
Okay.
Bye
Thank
now.
you.
Was Jasmine Anthony present? Tishana Athill. Joshua Bailey. Candace Balkasoon Daniel. Eunice Bell. Mark Booker. Brian Brabham. Diamond Brooks. Shariah Brown. Alay Burden. Drewandria Burnside. Deborah Burrows. Danny Bynum. Michelle Campbell. Courtney Carter. Leah Chambers. I see you, Ms. Chambers. Ms. Chambers, in 2020, you had a stop sign ticket.
Yes.
Mr. Tipton, you have a recommendation if she would like to resolve her ticket today with a guilty or nolo plea?
Yes, Your Honor, a $50 fine.
Ms. Chambers, do you want to enter a guilty or nolo plea to that? It would
Yes, I
actually
would
be
like
around
to.
80 with surcharges.
I would like to enter a NOLO plea based
Okay.
on contributory negligence.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's no problem. I'll take your
Mhm.
nolo plea, and that could not be used against you if you're, having a dispute with the driver of another
Right.
vehicle about fault.
Yes, ma'am.
But you will owe our clerk around $80 for that. And
Okay.
if you'll give us your stop sign, goodness.
Mhm.
If you'll give us your email, then she can email you the payment instructions about how to
Okay.
get this to the clerk by March the 25th.
Okay. That's fine.
What's your email?
Leah, Leah, Chams, Chams 46 @iCloud.com.
Okay, look for that email from the clerk's office. It's an
Okay.
address at claytoncountyga.gov a little bit later
Okay.
this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
So is that really it as far
Yeah.
as?
We're done with this ticket case. It'll be closed now.
Oh, okay, thank you so much.
All right, bye now.
Bye.
Jennifer Charles. Jeanette.
Yes, hello,
Hello.
hello, can you hear me?
I hear somebody. What is your
Okay.
name?
Jennifer Charles.
Oh, good. Ms. Charles, in 2020, you had 2 tickets. You had a failure to yield the right of way and a speeding. Mr. Tipton, do you have recommendations for her to consider if she would like to resolve those as guilty or no pleas today?
Yes, Your Honor. The failure to yield the right-of-way will be a $50 ticket, and she will be a $50 fine, and the speeding will be a $100 fine.
Do you want to resolve both tickets, Ms. Charles, with either a guilty or no low plea and pay the fines plus surcharges that were recommended?
Well,
Or
that was
you
my,
plead not guilty to either or both tickets?
well, that was my question, because when I had spoke to the clerk, I've only gotten 2 tickets out of the whole time, 3 tickets out of the whole time I've been driving. And I paid a ticket for the same thing that they're telling me that I'm at fault at. And when they showed me the ticket, it's not my signature on it.
So the failure to yield the right of way ticket, you believe was someone used your name?
But both of them, because I already paid a ticket on the fail to yield and speeding, but they're telling me that I did not, because I had to appear in court for that.
And where did you appear?
In Lovejoy,
Okay. Well, these are tickets that were written by apparently a Clayton County police officer, ma'am, or they would not be filed in our court.
okay, I'm not from Georgia, so I don't know if they're 2 different courts, but I know I did appear for one, but it seems like the same thing, and I've never gotten another speed ticket since then. And the
Okay.
signature, and the
These were
signature,
in 2020, so I don't know what you mean by since then, but I mean, I'm perfectly fine if you would like to plead not guilty to both
I don't-
tickets.
I
Is
don't
that what
know.
you're telling me?
I don't know how to proceed because it's not my signature. I mean, this is 2020, so I don't
Yes,
know.
ma'am. Okay. So you're saying that you're not guilty of these 2 tickets, is what I'm understanding, that they were issued to someone else, so you used your name. And I'll be glad to put them on a trial calendar then.
So I would have to appear in court again? Is that what you're stating?
Yes, ma'am, because you're
Okay.
contesting the tickets. I mean, we don't have, this isn't the trial date, this is the arraignment date.
Okay. That's no problem.
Okay, so the only obligation you have right now is to make sure if your address changes that you fill out the form on the clerk of the state court, Clayton County website, so that they always have your address when they mail you notice of the next court date, you'll receive it.
So I still have to do that even though they have it, or,
No, if your address changes.
oh, if it changes? Okay.
Yeah, all right. You
And
can
which
sign
court?
off. Oh,
And which court would I would,
this is the state court of Clayton County. Your tickets may be assigned to a different judge than me, but the information about where and how to appear for your trial will be on your notice.
on the notice? Okay. All
All
right.
right. Take care, ma'am. You can sign off.
Okay.
Jeanette Clements. William Cohen. Everyone check your audio and make sure you're muted. I'm hearing somebody stomping along as they walk. William Cohen. Derek Coleman.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh, you're Mr. who?
I'm Derek Coleman.
Okay, Mr. Coleman, you had a stop sign ticket in 2020. Mr. Tipton, do you have a recommendation for a fine if you would like to resolve the case today with guilty or no?
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommends a $50 fine.
Sir, do you want to plead guilty or nolo and pay around $80 to our clerk for the fine and surcharges, or plead not guilty to place the case on a trial calendar?
I go ahead and plead guilty, Your Honor, for this one. I believe it's the stop sign. Was there involved an accident on this one, Your Honor? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Mr. Coleman, I don't have the tickets in front of me. I just have a calendar in front of me. I'm sorry, I'm working from home today, so I don't know if it was an accident. Mr. Tipton, can you pull it up and look at it and tell us if accidents checked on the ticket?
One moment, Your Honor.
Did you have an accident in 2020, Mr. Coleman?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. They gave me a ticket for failure to yield a right of way. That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was.
Maybe I wrote the wrong thing on my calendar. Are you seeing the ticket, Mr. Tipton?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, there was an accident involved in this.
Mhm.
Is it a stop sign ticket or is it a failure to yield?
Stop sign and, yes, Your Honor, it's a stop sign and yield sign violation.
Oh, okay. So it
Okay.
may be that the code section it's written under, Mr. Coleman, is failing to yield
Okay,
at the yield sign as
Gotcha.
opposed to failing yield right of way.
I got you. No problem.
Okay. So do you want to do guilty or nolo?
Go ahead and give me guilty, Your Honor, if I can go ahead and get this out the way.
Okay. Would you please tell us your email address so the clerk can email you the payment instructions?
Okay, it's gonna be Derek Coleman, just like my whole name, 931@gmail.com.
All right. The clerk's going to email you some information about how to pay this by March 25th, and it'll have the exact amount due.
Okay.
And that'll come to you later on this afternoon. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor, like I said, you have a great one, Your Honor, yourself.
Take care, Mr. Coleman.
Bye-bye.
Christina Coley. Larry Connor. Sabrion Cooper. Donald Coonigan.
I'm here, Judge.
Mr. Coonigan, in 2020, you were ticketed relating to an accident, I believe, with making an improper lane change. Mr. Tipton, do you have a recommendation for a fine if you would like to resolve this case today with a guilty or nolo plea?
Yes, Your Honor, the state recommends a $50 fine.
Do you want to resolve the case today with guilty or nolo, Mr. Coonigan, or do you want to plead not guilty and come back for trial on the ticket?
Not guilty.
All right, sir. We'll enter that not guilty in the docket then, and you'll get notice in the mail of when to appear for your trial. The trial may be on Zoom or in person. It depends on how the judge who presides over that calendar schedules it. Your only obligation right now is to look out for the notice of the trial date and make sure the clerk of the state court always has your correct address. Any questions?
Okay. Is there a way I got some supporting documents? Is there an email I can email documents to, or just wait until the trial date?
Well, I mean, you can present whatever evidence that you would like to, that you know how to present properly at the trial, sir.
Okay.
All right. Take care. You can sign off for today.
All right. Thank you.
Chantrice Curry. Michelle Custis. Driana Daniels. Lakia Daniels.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Ms. Daniels, you had tickets for a child restraint violation and a tag violation in 2020. Is your tag problem, whatever that may have been, corrected at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tipton, what would you like to recommend for these two tickets then?
Your Honor, the state will null pros the tag violation, but for the child restraint, the state will recommend a $15 fine.
Do you want to resolve the child restraint ticket today with guilty or nolo and pay around, I think it's somewhere around $38. It may be less than that, Ms. Daniels. And then he'll dismiss the tag.
Yes, ma'am. I'll plead guilty to the child restraint.
Would you mind please providing your email so the clerk can email you the exact amount due and how to pay it?
Yes, ma'am. It's my name, Lekeia, Lekeia .Daniels, DANIELS @gmail.com.
All right. Look for an email later on this afternoon then from an address at claytoncountyga.gov with those payment instructions. You can pay online or in person before March 25th. And I'll dismiss the tag ticket. Any questions?
No, ma'am, and thank you so much.
Take care, Ms. Daniels.
You too. Bye-bye.
Your Honor,
Yes.
excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
This is me, Shael Custis. I was trying to tap in, but it was messing up.
It's
Before you
fine,
go
Mr.
ahead,
Custis. Okay. You had 2 tickets, Mr. Custis, in 2020 where you were charged with child restraint violation and a tag violation. Has whatever was going on with your tag been corrected?
I still have to get that information because they gave me another court date on April 20, I believe April 28th to have all that information in. But this court date is it says something different. It's license not on person.
Are you Michelle Custis?
Yes, ma'am.
Custis, right?
Yes, ma'am. I can show you right here on the paper. It says right here. Let me. You see it, ma'am? It says license not on person.
I see that.
Case
Hang on a
number,
moment,
stuff
Mr.
like that.
Custis. Let me pull up. I've just signed on to the county sites. Let me pull up your ticket. Maybe I wrote down something wrong on my calendar when I was looking at these.
The court that you talking about, I just went to court for that. I believe last week or 2 weeks ago.
MESHAEL, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Well, sir, these are actually tickets. You're right. I wrote the wrong information down for these 2 tickets. Oh, no. You just have a bunch of tickets. That's the problem. All right. Let me go back up. All right. So these are tickets. I don't know. 09698 from July 10th of 2020, and it's defective equipment and license not on person.
Correct.
Okay. And so you obviously must have a license. You just didn't have it with you that day.
Actually,
Mr. Custis, I can't barely hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I had my license on me. My car was totaled. I couldn't get to my it was in my bag in the back.
Okay.
I couldn't get to it, so I had to wait till
What
I
is
go
the
to,
defective equipment relating to? Did you have a wreck because something in your vehicle failed?
Yes, ma'am. The guy that sold me the car,
What was wrong? Were your tires bad? Your brakes failed, or what happened? I can't hear you, sir.
It was this whole bunch of stuff wrong with that car. It was a lot of sensors.
Okay. All right. Let me hear from the prosecutor then, given that information, what he wants to do with these 2 tickets today. Mr. Tipton?
Yes, Your Honor. The state will null pros the license not on person.
Because he told me like, oh, this car,
Hang
after
on,
he sold
Mr.
it to us, he
Custis.
was just like, man, this car,
Mr. Custis, stop talking for a minute.
problems on this car. Like he told me that after he sold us the car, like well after, like
Mr.
2 months, 'cause we
Custis.
following up with him because we had to bring him the car and stuff because he was
Mr.
he was supposed
Custis,
to
can you
fix
hear
the car
me?
himself. He had a mechanic and stuff like that, so he's going up to him every week and he's just giving us a run around. So that's how I kind of figured out the car was messed up. And then when we got in the accident, the car was
Mr.
totaled.
Custis, can you hear me?
I don't know, like after that, I don't know
Apparently not.
any more information after that, you know.
I don't need anything else. Mr. Tipton, what's the recommendation on this?
Can you hear me? I can't.
I hear
on mute.
you. Apparently you don't hear me.
I can hear you now, Mel.
Okay. Mr. Tipton, what's your recommendation on the defective equipment ticket if he wants to resolve it today?
Your Honor, since it results in an accident, the state will recommend a $50 fine. And the state will null pros the license not on person.
Mr. Custis, then if you want to plead guilty or no contest to defective equipment, you'd be paying our clerk around $80 and he would dismiss the other ticket. You don't have to plead guilty or nolo. You can plead not guilty and we'll put these tickets on a trial calendar. What would you like to do?
Because I'm gonna say guilty because I don't have the car is total, so I don't have no information to back me up on this about that. The car defect, so I can't do that. I don't know. As of right now, I can plead not guilty and then call the person who I got the car from to, you know, get some more information. But I highly doubt it because last time I talked to him, you know, he kept giving me the run around saying, I don't know. Like, so I guess I'm just plead guilty. But how long for me to pay the payment?
A month, by March 25th.
Okay, I got you.
All right. What is your email address, please, so the clerk can email you the payment instruction information?
I got you. S as in Sam, and then my last name CUSTIS, and then 24@gmail.com.
All right, scustis24@gmail.com. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so she's going to email you some payment instruction information with the exact amount due to that email address this afternoon, and you'll have until March 25th to pay the amount that's reflected on that paperwork. The license not on person ticket is dismissed. Any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, bye, Mr. Custis.
All right, you have a nice day.
Thanks. Is Tashana Daniels present? Chadrick Davis? Maya Davis?
I'm here. Shadrick Davis here.
I'm sorry, what is your first name, Miss Davis? I have several on here.
Shadrick.
Are you Maya?
Shadrick.
Shadrick, okay. Miss Davis, you have following too close from August the 1st of 2020.
Yes.
And you also actually, I think, have some other tickets open from June and February of this year.
I got a notice on the one in February. I just got it the other day from my grandma's house.
I know, but if you want to resolve it since you're here, we can, so you don't have to keep coming back and forth. So Mr. Tipton, recommendation if she would like to resolve these 3 tickets today by guilty or nolo.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Could you repeat what the 3 tickets were? I only heard one.
So I believe she has fallen too close, and then a speeding ticket in June of 21, and a stop sign ticket in February of 22. This following too close was August 2020.
Your Honor, the state would recommend a $50 fine for the following too close, a $100 fine for the speeding, and a $50 fine for the stop sign violation.
Yes, how long will I have to pay that?
We usually give folks a month, Ms. Davis.
Okay, I'll do that.
Do you want to plead guilty or NOLO to following too close?
Guilty.
And guilty or NOLO to speeding?
Guilty.
Guilty or NOLO to the stop sign?
Guilty.
And Mr. Tipton, I apologize, I didn't write down what your recommendations were.
Your Honor, it'll be $50 for the following too close, $100 for speeding, $50 for the stop sign violation.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Davis, I'll accept your guilty pleas to these 3 tickets. It's around $80 for the following too close ticket and around $80 for the stop sign. And then it's like $150, a little bit less than that probably on the speeding. So that's, you know, a big chunk of money though. Can you still pay, given that those are the totals by March the 25th, a month from now?
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be around 300.
Okay.
All right. Would you provide your email for us so that clerk can email you the exact amounts due as well as the payment instruction information?
Yes, ma'am. CHADREKADAVIS@yahoo.com.
Okay. All right. Look for an email then from the clerk at claytoncountyga.gov later this afternoon with the exact amounts due and how to pay it. And you don't, if you have another court date on your February ticket, you don't have to appear for that since we took care of it today.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye, Ms. Davis. Monteith Dawson.
Yeah, I'm here, Your Honor.
Mr. Dawson, you have 3 tickets from December of 2020, a speeding, improper lane change, and tag violation. And you have another open ticket from January, I think, of 21 for speeding. So whatever was going on with your tag in 2020, has that been corrected?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you have an accident in 2020 on this improper lane change? I don't have that reflected on my calendar, but I just want to make sure.
I was trying to tell the officer a truck almost ran me off the road, so I was trying to get out the way.
I see. All right. Well, let me hear from the prosecutor then what his thoughts are if you would like to resolve these today with a guilty or no plea. Mr. Tipton.
Your Honor, the state recommends a $100 fine for both speeding, for the first speeding, a $100 fine for the second speeding, and a $25 fine for the improper lane change.
And you'll dismiss the tag if he pleads today?
Yes, Your Honor.
So did you understand those recommendations, Mr. Dawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to plead guilty or NOLO to the 2 speeding tickets and improper lane change ticket?
I can plead NOLO.
Okay. Would you please tell us your email address so the clerk can email you the exact amounts due because there's surcharges and the payment instructions?
Would it be better if I typed it in the chat, Your Honor?
Sure, that's fine. Great, we see that. So I think it's going to be around 350 total, but it may be less. It's probably going to be a little bit less than that. You can pay that by March 25th, we hope, Mr. Dawson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so I think that's all the tickets you had pending in Clayton County State Court. So you don't hopefully ever have to come see us again, right?
Yes, ma'am. Hope not.
All right. Bye, Mr. Dawson.
See, have a good one.
Thanks. Del Vernon, Debar Delabon. Probably butchered that, but Mr. Diallo, I see you on Zoom as well. You can, do you hear me? Because I don't show that you have a audio icon.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, good. I hear you as well. 2020 speeding ticket. Mr. Tipton, recommendation.
Your Honor, the state recommends a $100 fine.
Do you want to plead guilty or nolo, pay about $150 for that, Mr. Diallo, or plead not guilty and come back on another date for a trial?
Yeah, I want to plead not guilty.
Not guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you'll get notice in the mail later on, whenever that gets scheduled to come back for your trial. Only obligation right now is to make sure the clerk of state court always has a correct address for you. Any questions?
No, that's
all right. Bye, Mr. Diallo.
Oh, thank you so much.
Randy Dixon. I see you are on Zoom, Mr. Dixon. Would you unmute?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Mr. Dixon, you had a speeding ticket in 2020. Mr. Tipton, recommendation.
Your Honor, the state recommends a $100 fine.
Sir, do you want to resolve that today by guilty or nolo? It's about
Yeah,
$150 with surcharges.
Yes, ma'am, NOLO.
Okay. Would you please either state your email or you can put it in the chat area?
Sure, I'm on my phone. Yeah, I'll state it. It's my first and last name, Randy Dixon, 13@gmail.
Okay. The clerk will email you the payment instructions with the exact amount. You can pay online or in person by March 25th. It's going to be around $150. Any questions?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. Bye, Mr. Dixon.
Bye.
Dennis Edwards present. Let me back up. Is anybody on here that's last name began with A through D that I have not talked to?
Latino.
Me, Foster.
Last name A through D that I have not talked to. All right. Dennis Edwards. Stacy Eligio. Gilberto Esparza Mendez. Coretta Espy.
Hey, that's me.
Ms. Espy, you had in 2020 a failure to yield the right-of-way and a tag violation. Is the tag issue, whatever that may have been corrected now?
Yes, ma'am, it has.
Mr. Tipton, do you have a recommendation if you would like to resolve failure to yield with guilty or nolo today?
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommends $50, a $50 fine for the failure to yield, and the state will dismiss the tag violation.
Do you want to resolve that failure to yield with guilty or nolo today, Ms. Espy?
Yes.
Which one?
Oh, I'll say guilty.
Okay. And so then I'll grant his motion to dismiss the tag ticket. And it's going to be about $80 total with surcharges on the other one. Would you please either state your email address or you can type it in the chat area?
Okay, I'm gonna type it in the chat. Where is it? Okay, I just sent it.
Okay, we see that. So the clerk's going to email you the payment instructions and the exact amount due, excuse me, this afternoon. Look for an email from an address at claytoncountyga.gov.
Okay.
Sometimes I guess people think the government is spam, so make sure if you don't see it this afternoon that you check your spam to see if it got diverted there. It'll have the exact amount due and how to pay it online or in person by March 25th. Any questions?
Okay, no, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye, Ms. Espy.
All right, have a good day.
Corey Fisher. I'm sorry, Fish, made up a new last name. I don't think he's going to sign on. He's wanted. Michael Flores Lorenzo. Aaron Foote. Taryn Ford. Kashawn Franklin. Mr. Free, I see you're on Zoom if you want to unmute. Mr. Free, you had a speeding ticket in 2020. Mr. Tipton, do you have a recommendation if you would like to resolve it today?
Yes, Your Honor, the state recommends a $100 fine.
Do you want to plead guilty or nolo today on the ticket, Mr. Free, and then you'd be paying about $150 to our clerk, or do you want to plead not guilty and come back for a trial?
Oh, I thought he said 100.
His surcharges.
That's crazy, ain't it?
It is. There's like about 10 different statutes that make us add-on amounts for various things, none of which go in your or my pocket. So
that's crazy. And I'm a taxpaying citizen. What's the longest I get to pay it? I'll do that. I'll take it.
25th?
The 25th, March?
Like a month from now.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Does that work out? Guilty or nolo?
I don't even know if I can plead nolo. If I can, I'll take nolo.
You can. It may not help you. It may or may not help you with points, but I can take a nolo. We can try it and see.
Yeah, nolo.
Okay, great. Would you please either tell us or type in your email in the chat area so the clerk can email you the payment information?
Yeah, might be some option. I'll text it to you. How I text it?
Are you on a phone?
I'm on a computer.
So look at the bottom of your screen and you should have various little.
Where it say chat?
It says chat, exactly.
And just send it to.
You can send it to everyone or clerk, traffic clerk.
Okay. I see your name. You want me to send it to you?
I don't mind if you send it to me.
All right, I'll send it to you. Let me see. It ain't gonna go up on me now, is it, Miss Cohen?
No, I mean, it's either $141.50 or it's $151.50. It's one of those two amounts, but the exact amount will be on that email.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you typing still?
Yeah, I'm typing.
Okay.
How I send it? I just typed it in.
Just after you type, hit enter, and it should travel to me.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's it right there.
Got it. All right. I'll make sure the clerk gets that. Look for an email later on this afternoon from the clerk, an address at claytoncountyga.gov, and it'll have the exact total and how to pay it either online or in person by March 25th. Any questions about all that, sir?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Free.
All right, Miss Cohen. All right, Tipton, I'm gonna holler at you, man. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
How I get out of here, man?
Leave meeting.
Mute?
Leave meeting.
Oh, leave meeting? Oh, I see. I see. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, Juan Gamble. Angel Garcia Gustavo.
Yes, I'm here.
So you had in 2020 an HOV lane violation ticket. Mr. Tipton, do you have a fine recommendation for that if he wants to resolve that?
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommends a $50 fine.
Sir, with surcharges, that's around 80. You want to plead guilty or nolo or plead not
Guilty.
guilty?
Guilty, and I can pay it today.
Okay, to pay it today, you have to come in person to the courthouse, or you can wait till tomorrow to pay online.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm actually in New York, so.
Oh, okay. You can't pay it online the day of court. You have to wait till the next day. But if you'll tell us, or your email or put it in the chat area, the clerk can email you the payment instructions.
Yeah, of course.
About how to pay that online.
Yeah, of course. It's gonna be T as in Tom, A as in Alpha, V as in Victor, O as in Oscar, 0824 period RG@gmail.com.
Okay, look for an email from the clerk of the state court later on this afternoon. It'll have the exact amount and the web address to pay online. Any questions?
That'll be it. Thank you so much.
Bye, sir.
Yeah.
Antoine Gardner.
I'm here.
Oh, Mr. Gardner, can you turn on video?
Can you see me?
Yes, sir, I do now. Mr. Gardner, in 2020, you had a speeding ticket. Mr. Tipton, recommendation.
Your Honor, the state recommends a $100 fine.
So do you want to resolve it with guilty or nolo today? Or plead not guilty, come back for trial?
It says here that I'm here for a failure to yield.
I'm sorry, y'all. Apparently, my brain wasn't working when I was looking all these up the other day. And I didn't pull the calendar up. I can't online, but I can do that.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm sorry. I'm looking. I just must have written the wrong thing down, Mr. Gardner. I try to look at ahead of time at everything, so I don't have to pull everybody up one by one. So I probably wrote the wrong thing down. I just want to pull up your ticket. So we're talking about the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who I looked up the other day, but it is a failure to yield the right of way.
Okay.
So Mr. Tipton, recommendation for failing to yield the right of way ticket.
Yes, Your Honor, the state recommends a $50 fine.
Okay. Guilty, nolo, or not guilty then to that ticket, Mr. Gardner?
Nolo. Is there any more tickets?
No, that's it.
Okay.
I don't see anything else open. So it's around 80 with surcharges though. Would you either type into the chat area your email address, or you can tell us so the clerk can email you the payment instruction information?
It's Antoine Gardner, my first and last name, 461@gmail.com.
Okay. She'll email you that information later on. You can pay it in person or online by March 25th. And again, it's around 80. It's going to be a little bit more, a little bit less than that. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Sorry for that confusion, Mr. Gardner, but that is all you had open here in
You
Clayton.
sure? You make sure now.
I'm sure.
We want to go and get it all in one walk.
I know. Let me I'm going to look again, make sure.
All right.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, then. We'll take care of it.
All right.
You have a great one.
I know. Robert Gardner. Brandon Garrett. Tanya Gates. Michael Gonzalez.
I'm here. Good morning.
Hi, Mr. Gonzalez. If I wrote this down right, in 2020, you had a following two closed ticket. Is that what you believed you were here for today?
Yes, ma'am.
So recommendation, if you would like to resolve that with guilty or nolo, Mr. Tipton.
Your Honor, the state recommends a $50 fine.
Do you want to plead guilty or nolo, or plead not guilty to this ticket, Mr. Gonzalez?
Before I plead, I had a question. I was previously in dispute. I went through the dispute resolution, and they offered me, it said defendant has accepted the following too close, no contest, at $0. What does that mean?
I don't know. Did you accept the offer?
Yeah, it says defendant has accepted the following too close, no contest, and it says following too close again, and it has $0. And the Maria Elena Hernandez.
Yeah.
I was just waiting. To make the. It says judges reviewing, so I was waiting for them to finalize and actually complete, so I can make the payment.
All right. Well, we'll complete that process then. If that was what her recommendation was, then obviously that should be approved. And it may just be that there was a lag between when you did that and the calendar today. So that'll come to, it's probably my case since Ms. Hernandez reviewed it. And so I'll see that and I'll go ahead and accept that recommendation and the no-low plea that way. If
Okay,
she's
so
saying no
I'll-
fine, if she recommended no fine, obviously we won't change that on you today.
Yeah, that's what it says. Incident updated, and it said offer follow too close, and it said fine $0. So I just wanted to make sure. I don't want to get. Okay.
I'll take care of it then online, Mr. Gonzalez. Sorry for that confusion. You can go.
I appreciate
All
y'all.
right.
Thank you again.
All right, bye. Antonius Gooden. Antonius Gooden. Kayla Greer. Romania Grimes. Chelsea, anybody whose last name began with A through G. Oh, I see you now, Miss Greer. You had a speeding ticket in 2020. Recommendation.
Hello?
Hang
You're
on,
on.
please. Hang on a moment, sir. I'm talking to Miss Greer. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Mr. Tipton, recommendation for Miss Greer's speeding ticket.
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommends a $100 fine.
All right, Ms. Greer, do you want to plead guilty or no-low, pay back $150, or do you want to plead not guilty and come back on a different date for a trial?
So if you plead NOLO, that might help with the points on the insurance, as opposed to just pleading guilty and paying it.
Well, we don't have anything to do with your insurance, but points have to do with your driving record.
Yeah,
with
I'm sorry. Yeah,
TDS.
that's what I meant.
Right.
Okay.
You want to do a no-low?
I'll do NOLO, yeah.
All right, would you tell us or type into the chat area your email so we can email you the exact amount doing the payment instructions?
Yes, ma'am. I'll send it to you.
Okay. And it's around 150. It may be a little bit more, a little bit less than that. You can pay it online or in person by March 25th.
Is those the only fees that'll be associated with it?
Right, so the total should be around 150. I see your email. Look for an email from the clerk at an address at ClaytonCountyGA.gov later this afternoon. And it'll have the exact amount due.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, bye.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Ms. Edwards, I saw your chat message. Donna Edwards.
Here, Your Honor.
Ms. Edwards, you had a speeding case in 2020 as well. Mr. Tipton, do you have a recommendation for her?
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommends a $100 fine.
Do you want to resolve it with guilty or no-low, pay about $150 with that's the total with surcharges, or plead not guilty and come back for a trial, Ms. Edwards?
No, Your Honor, but I did have a question. When I looked online, it said that the amount was $73, so I'm not sure.
All right. If you could have paid it online ahead of time, that would have been the recommendation, I suppose. Mr. Tipton, are you willing to go with that?
Yes, Your Honor. The state will lower it to $73.
Okay, well, it's a $50 fine then with surcharges, Ms. Edwards, so that's $73.25, I believe. What is your email? Do you want to tell us or put it in the chat? We can email you the payment instructions.
I will put it in the chat directly to you.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you. I've got it. You're going to get an email from the clerk's office this afternoon. That will be at an address from ClaytonCountyGA.gov. It'll have that total due and how to pay it by March 25th. Any questions, Ms. Edwards?
no, ma'am.
Was there someone else here whose last name begins with A through G?
Antonius Gooden.
All right, sir. Spell your last name.
Holly Foster.
Ma'am,
Ms. Foster. What's your last name again, sir?
Antonius Gooden.
Oh, Gooden. Okay. I'll come back to you, Ms. Foster. Mr. Gooden, you had a tag violation and defective equipment tickets. These are from 2020. For some reason, when he wrote you tickets or she wrote you tickets, she gave you 2 different tag tickets. I don't know what that's about. But let me just ask if whatever was going on with your tag has been corrected.
Yes, ma'am.
And whatever defective equipment existed, has that been repaired?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tipton, then, do you have a recommendation for these 3 tickets for Mr. Gooden?
Yes, Your Honor, the state will be null crossing the case.
He's gonna, has moved to dismiss all 3 tickets since it's all been corrected, and I'll do that, Mr. Gooden. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, you can sign off.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Foster, name is not jumping out on my calendar. Is your ticket under the name Kathy Foster?
Repeat that again.
Holly Foster. Is your ticket under the name Holly Foster?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the plan. I can do.
Yes.
Okay. You try to find.
I had court on the 11th, and I didn't have the ID to sign in, so I missed it.
Oh, okay.
And then I missed it the time before that because I had my baby.
Ah, well, congratulations.
Thank you. So she gave me another chance to talk to you today.
No problem. So I have, what's your middle name? I've got 3 Kathy Fosters in here.
No, Holly Foster, Holly Sharon Foster.
Well, I keep trying to give you a different first name.
Yeah.
I wonder I can't find you. All right. Just making stuff up. All right, I got you. Speeding ticket. Oh, you got 3 tickets pending?
Yeah, not the speeding one. The speeding one I got for March.
I know.
The
But if you want to resolve it, we can. All right, so you
Yeah, we
have
can.
September of 2020 failing to yield the right of way.
Okay, we can do all of them if it will make it easier for me.
All right,
So-
recommendation, hang on. So I have that failure to yield the right of way from September 2020. I have a tag thing from December 2020, and then I have that speeding. So let's hear from the prosecutor about what he wants to do. Did you fix the tag problem?
Yes, I actually had a bill of sale, which is right here.
Okay.
I had got the bill of sale on December the 1st, and I have 7 days, or I guess 7 days to get a tag, and I did not know that the tag was expired prior to me purchasing the vehicle.
Okay.
I
But
did give
you have a good tag on there now.
Yeah, I gave the vehicle back. I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I said, oh no.
That's fine.
So-
Mr. Tipton, then, let me hear from the prosecutor, Ms. Foster.
Your Honor, the state will move to dismiss the tag violation. The state will request a $50 fine on the speeding, will request a $100 fine on the speeding violation and a $50 fine on the failure to yield.
Okay. Well, can I explain the failure to yield one?
Briefly.
Okay, so the failure to yield, I actually, what happened was the police had stopped one side of the road, and when I proceeded to cross the street, a car, they didn't stop all lanes. They just stopped one lane. So a car came and smashed into me after that, and they totaled my vehicle. So they stopped one lane and didn't stop the other lane.
I see.
When they were getting somebody, they were literally chasing after somebody. Then
Oh
they
my
stopped
goodness.
and got them. And then
Okay.
after that, they stopped all lanes. They didn't stop the middle lane. They stopped the far. Well, it depends on which way you're facing, but they stopped the
Right.
far right lane and didn't stop the middle lane, the
So-
left lane.
So are you saying that you thought that they were stopping all the lanes and that's why you proceeded and didn't realize they'd only blocked one lane?
Yes.
I see.
I
Mr.
didn't
Tipton
realize that
just
they didn't stop both of the
all
lanes.
of the
and-
lanes.
Yeah,
I
and when I
understand
went,
what you're
he
saying. All right, let's
smashed
hear
into
from
me.
the prosecutor then, if that makes any difference to him.
Your Honor, I'll suspend the fine on the failure to yield.
Okay. So do you want to plead guilty or nolo to that ticket? But he's recommending that I suspend the fine, which means you wouldn't have to pay it.
You can suspend, yeah, the
Do you want to plead
suspension.
guilty or nolo to that?
Nolo.
All right. Do you want to plead guilty or nolo to that speeding ticket?
Now that I was speeding, I ain't gonna lie to you. So yeah, guilty.
Okay.
I'll pay that, I guess.
Right. So that one's going to be around 150. Would you tell me or put into the chat area your email, please?
Okay, hold on. Let me figure this out. Dang, I'd rather pay the $50 than the $150. It's hard because me not working due to the fact
Well,
that I
you'll
had
have a
her.
month to get that together, Miss Foster. Hopefully that'll work out for you then.
Yeah, let me figure this out. Okay, but my email address is hollyfoster19@yahoo.com. I don't know how to
That's fine.
type it.
No, that's fine. I'm sure the clerk caught that, wrote it down. So look for an email from the clerk this afternoon. Her address will be an address from ClaytonCountyGA.gov. It'll have the exact amount due and how to pay that online or in person by March 25th. Any questions?
No, that's it. Let me repeat my email address just in case they didn't get it.
Hollyfoster19.
HOLLYFOSTER number 19@yahoo.com.
Okay. Thank you, Miss
Okay.
Foster.
No problem.
Take care. Bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Anyone else whose last names were A through G? I think we have a ton of people here, but let me keep going the way I was going. All right. Anyone whose last name begins with H? I see Mr. Hall. Justin Hall.
Here's Justin Pope.
Okay, Mr. Harris, I see you. Let me talk to Mr. Harris first. Quentin Harris had traffic control device violation and tag tickets in 2020. Has the issue with your tag been corrected, Mr. Harris?
Yes.
And recommendation, Mr. Tipton, for traffic control device violation?
Yes, Your Honor, the state recommends a $50 fine.
Do you want to resolve that with guilty or nolo today, Mr. Harris? The red light or yield sign or stop, whatever, traffic control device violation?
Yeah, I do guilty.
Mr. Harris?
Yeah, I do guilty.
Okay. With surcharges, you're going to owe the clerks around $80. Would you tell us or type in to the chat area your email so she can email you the exact amount due by March 25th?
Okay. I just sent it.
Who did you send it to?
I sent it to the chat.
I mean, just because I don't see it pop up.
Oh.
You can choose who to send it to in the chat area. So you can send it to the state court traffic person or to me or to everyone, and we'll see it. There it is. All right. So you'll get that email later on today with the amount due. Any questions?
No, that's all.
All right. Bye, Mr. Harris.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks. All right. Justin Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hall, you had in January of 2020 brake light and headlight violation tickets. Have the lights all been correctly replaced or fixed in your vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Tipton, are you willing to dismiss those 2 tickets?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hall, in May of 2020, you had an improper display of tag ticket. Was the tag on, like in the window or partially blocked, or what was going on with that as far as you recall?
It was placed in the window.
Has it now been installed in the proper place on the vehicle?
Say it again.
Has it now been installed on the proper place on your vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tipton, are you willing to dismiss that one also?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's all I show you had open here, Mr. Hall, so they'll all be dismissed. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, bye now.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Anybody else whose last name begins with H?
Justin Hope.
Did you already do Griffin?
Probably. I don't have a Griffin on here, actually. I thought I just talked to Justin Hall.
No, Holt, Holt.
Oh, okay. Hang on, Miss Griffin. I'll find yours in just a few minutes. Mr. Holt, you had a brake light violation ticket in 2020. Has that brake light issue been corrected?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tipton, then, are you willing to ask me to dismiss his ticket?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Holt, I'll dismiss it.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bye.
You have a good one.
Ma'am, Miss Griffin, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And your first name is?
Jennifer? Well, actually, the paperwork that came in the mail, it came in my maiden name.
What is your
but I have
the last name on there?
On there it says William, so I thought it might have been a glitch because I haven't used that in 18 years. So
Well, goodness gracious, who knows then why that was, how that got entered, but I'll look it up. I do have a Jennifer Williams on my calendar from a 2020 speeding ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez, do you have a recommendation on her ticket?
State would recommend a $50 fine.
Ms. Williams, do you want to plead guilty or no loaf to that? And then you're looking at
No.
around $80.
Yeah, no low.
All right. What is your email, or you can put it in the chat?
Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Mr. Waltall, you need to turn your video off. I'm going to remove you from the Zoom meeting if you don't take care of the problem. Somebody behind you without clothes on. Ms. Williams, we see your email, so look for an email later today with the amount due from the clerk, and you can pay it online or in person by March 25th. Any questions?
Okay. No, that's it. Thank you.
By Ms. Williams, or I'm
Bye-bye.
sorry,
Have a great.
we have your wrong name, but take care.
No problem. Have a great weekend.
All right. Anyone else whose last name begins with H as in hat? Gabriel Johnson present. Alexander Jefferson. Melvin Jefferson. Henrietta John. Cheryl Johnson. Landry Johnson.
Cheryl Johnson here, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what's your first name, sir?
Cheryl Johnson.
Oh, Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson, failure to yield the right-of-way ticket in 2020. Mr. Tipton, do you have a recommendation if you'd like to resolve it with guilty or nolo today?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would recommend a $50 fine.
Do you want to plead guilty or nolo, Miss Johnson? Or
No
not?
low.
What is your email? You can tell us or put it in the chat area.
It's my last name, first name, 297@gmail.com.
To work more efficiently, which makes accomplishing.
All right, look for an email from our clerk an address at claytoncountyga.gov that will have the exact amount due and the payment instructions.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can pay it by March the 25th. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
It may be a little bit more, a little bit less than 80. All right, thank you. You can sign off. Ms. Greer has messaged Mr.
No, I'm on a Zoom meeting, man. I told you I'm on a Zoom meeting.
Sir,
I'm on a Zoom in Clayton County. I told you
Sir,
when I
you're
got
not muted. Whoever's yelling about being on Zoom. Ms. Greer has asked Mr. Tipton if you would consider a reduction in speed on her ticket. She had pled NOLO.
One moment, Your Honor.
She forgot to ask you that.
Your Honor, I'll reduce it by 2 miles per hour to 84 so she avoids super speeder.
So it's going to be 84 and a 65?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Greer. I'll reflect that on the ticket, on the sentence rather. If you're still here. All right, she says thank you. Anybody else on Zoom here that has a last name beginning with the letter H? Ms. Athill, you must have joined us late. I see that you're now on. You had tickets from 2020 where you were charged with a tag problem and license not on person and improper lane change. Has whatever was going on with your tag been corrected, Ms. Athill? Ms. Athill just chatting away. Ms. Athill. Ms. Athill.
Yes, ma'am.
Has your issue with your tag been corrected?
There is no issue with a tag. I was in a car accident. So what tag? I was in a car accident.
I don't know, ma'am. In 2020, you had tickets that were apparently relating somehow to your tag. Do you recall getting those tickets?
Yes, ma'am. And I just answered you.
Okay.
And in 2020, I was in a car wreck. They said about my tags, and 2020 was the situation with Corona. So everything was delayed. I was still paying off on my car loan. I bought my car cash. I paid off on my car and I had like $200 left. And then I got in a wreck. I kind of got dizzy and I got in a wreck. They sent me to the hospital and stuff. Even in the ambulance, I lost my car. What tags? Whatever reason she put tags on there, because I wasn't due for tags yet. And I had to like wake up from a CAT scan realizing I had.
Okay.
All
right, hang on. Let me talk to you then. You had an improper lane change. Was it an accident with another vehicle or did you go off the road?
That's why I was telling the officer when I was in the ambulance that I got a little dizzy and that's why they gave me a CAT scan. Like, yeah, I basically went off the road. Yes, ma'am. I went off the road.
And hit something off road, but not another vehicle.
Yeah, none of that.
Okay.
I just hit my head. They said other vehicle said something, but I was telling the lady, like, I don't know. And
You
then
were
they
kind of
had
out
to
of
do me
it
a
because you
CAT
got
scan at
dizzy
the
and then you hit your
hospital.
head. Yeah, okay. I don't know, Mr. Tipton, what do you have a recommendation if she wants to try to resolve these today?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would recommend a $50 fine for the improper lane change and would dismiss the other counts.
Improper lane change. What is an improper lane change if nobody was there?
Well, so the statute says that if you fail to maintain your
I
lane.
just care about money. I got you. I'll give you $50 and scrape
Ms.
it out
Athill, I'm just
somewhere.
gonna mark you
It's
down as a
not
not
there.
guilty plea, and you'll get notice when to come back for court again.
I'm not
gonna
guilty.
Put up with that.
I'm not guilty of that. And
Nah.
unless they have evidence, I want to.
All right. The only nice thing about Zoom is I can just kick people off. Gives me great pleasure when people act out like that to do that. So those of you who are remaining, heads up. Anybody else whose last name begins with J as in, or H, sorry, as in hat? All right. I was going down the J's. Is Landry Johnson here? Ryan Johnson? Rashana Jones? Reggie Jones? Gabriel Juarez? Katasia Kayam?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Miss Kayam, you just had a tent violation ticket in 2020. Do you still have that car?
I don't have that car anymore. Well, it was mine. I bought it used with the temps on there, but I don't have that car anymore.
All right, Mr. Tipton.
Your Honor, the state moves to dismiss.
All right, he'll dismiss it then since you don't own the vehicle, Miss Kayam.
Thank you. You have a nice day.
All right, bye. Calvante Kelly. Shamel Kelly. Virasak Kamfanvong. Siobhan King. Noah Lackey. Royal Lee. Caitlin Lentz. Shayna Lewis. Delmas Little. Elise Lowry.
I'm here.
Ms. Lowry, failure to yield the right-of-way ticket in 2020. Mr. Tipton, recommendation.
Your Honor, the state recommends a $50 fine.
Do you want to resolve that with a guilty or no, Ms. Lowry, or plead not guilty and come back for a trial?
I'm a little conflicted if I'm able to kind of speak on it. It's just a little bit really quickly. When I received this ticket, I was coming out of a gas station. A car had stopped to let me, because they were all at a red light. They stopped to let me come, and me as well as my passenger, there were no cars coming, turning right from the intersection onto the road that we were turning on, and the cop came behind me. It was enough distance, but my issue was when I received my ticket, the officer put that I got into an accident. I pulled out in front of the officer, and when we were trying to resolve it, because there was no accident, I would have hit the officer. I didn't actually get into an accident, and we got in contact with the sheriff's department. They couldn't get in contact with the officer. It was a whole runaround, and I received an email with a highlight basically saying that they had fixed it, and it wasn't really resolved, I guess, and they were told that they had to fix it in order for me to like go to court and resolve it. And it was just this weird mix up of the ticket in general. So I don't really know what to, because I did yield, but the issue was more so the accident that she had put down. But when I called the clerk's office, the lines were busy. So I don't even know if in the system it was changed, because I didn't get into a car accident with the officer.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure.
All right, let me try to look at it and see if that was somehow reflected or not on the ticket as it was filed with the clerk.
Okay.
All right, it's taking me a second to pull it up. There it is. Well, so yeah, Ms. Lowry, as the ticket was filed in from the officer to the clerk, it does say there was an accident. So obviously, if that's an error, then that would have to be something that we could take up at a trial calendar. If the
Question.
who wrote you the ticket shows up for the trial calendar, do you want me to put it on a trial calendar and we'll see what happens?
Yes, and if would I have to bring proof of the emails that I received from the sheriff's office and all their
That would
officers?
be a great idea. If you would print those out and bring those to show the prosecutor on that day, then maybe that will help them make a decision about how to proceed.
Okay.
Okay. The only obligation you'll have right now then is to make sure our clerk has your address. If it changes, there's a form online that you can update your address. Send you notice to appear for the trial date. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Lowry.
Bye-bye.
Anybody else whose last name began with A through L? James Manlove.
I'm here.
Mr. Manlove, you had a ticket in 2020 for allegedly permitting an unlicensed person to operate your vehicle. You recall that ticket?
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez, you want to ask him anything about that? Or make a recommendation?
Yes, the state would move to dismiss. Oh, excuse me, sir. Do you have a license yourself?
Yes.
Okay, the state would move to dismiss that citation.
All right, I'll go ahead and dismiss that, Mr. Manlove. If somebody's driving your car, you always got to make sure they're licensed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, bye now.
All right.
Roderick Mason. Gianna McDuffie. Patrice McElroy. Walter Malashenko. Laura Mercer. Michael Merrick. Darius Miller.
I'm here.
Are you Mr. Miller? What is it?
Can you hear me?
Someone turned on their video. Yes, what is your name?
Darius Miller.
Okay. Mr. Miller, you had impeding traffic and tent violation tickets in 2020. So first question is if that was your car?
Yes, I had just purchased the car. If you look at the report, I had just purchased the car, and it already had it on this old police vehicle.
Oh, gosh. So has the tent been reduced or stripped?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it has. And I was telling the officer that, but he was actually looking for some drugs. I didn't understand why he was looking for drugs. He really didn't have a reason to pull me over because when I came out of my apartments, I came to a red. He was. It was.
I don't know. He's charged you with impeding traffic. Obviously, I don't know what that was about.
That's what I'm saying. Because when I come out of my complex, there's a red light, and he was pulled over right there in front of the red light as soon as he was in my front rear windshield. So I didn't understand how I was impeding traffic. When the light turned green, I made a right, and I went into the neighborhood next to me, and he pulled me over saying I was impeding traffic, and he threw me in the back of his car and was searching for drugs in my car.
I don't know either, Mr. Miller, because obviously we weren't there. Well, Ms. Hernandez, do you have a proposal if you would like to resolve things today?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would move to dismiss the tent violation, and then for the impeding traffic, it would be a $25 fine.
Mr. Miller, you don't have to plead guilty or nolo, obviously, to impeding traffic if you feel you weren't doing that. But if you want to, then she's asking me to impose just a $25 fine, but with surcharges, that's around $40. Do you want to do that or plead not guilty to both tickets come back?
I'll just pay I don't even know what it is, and it'll waste more than money with both of us. So I don't.
Do you want to do no contest instead of guilty? Maybe that'll save you some points or something.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Whatever I can do, because I really gotta go work.
Yeah, I understand, Mr. Miller. Would you mind either stating or typing in the chat area your email address so the clerk can email you the exact amount due and how to pay it?
Yes, ma'am. I'll type it, no problem.
Okay. Great, we see that. She's going to send you that email later on this afternoon. It'll be from an address at claytoncountyga.gov with the exact amount due. You can pay it online or in person by March 25th. That's for the impeding traffic thing. The tent ticket will be dismissed. Any questions about all that, Mr. Miller?
Oh, ma'am, thank you so much. Can I instead of paying it online, can I go to the courthouse tomorrow and pay it?
Yep, either way. All right.
Thank you.
Take care, Mr. Miller.
You too, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Bye now. Michael Mills. Cortez Molina. Or Jose Molina Cortez, probably. Nida Moreno. Mario Moya. Cheyenne Murphy. Martika, well, anybody who I haven't talked to whose last name begins with M as in Michael. All right, Martika Neal. Michael Injane. Jackie Nichols.
I'm here.
Mr. Nichols, you had, oh, are you Mr. Nichols?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You had tickets in 2020 for a decal problem and improper display of tag. And I don't know why you wrote two different decal tickets, but whatever was going on with the tag, has all that been fixed?
Yes, ma'am. It was fixed that I had that day. I don't know why he gave me the ticket because, be honest with you, my trailer, I had it tie wrapped and it kept falling off.
Oh, okay.
And so I put it inside my truck so that you know it was already had the car trying to get the tags.
I see.
Showed him all that, and and that's when he wrote me up.
All these tickets, but so this was on a trailer.
Yes, ma'am. It was my trailer and my truck.
Okay, but now all the tags, if you still own those vehicles, are in the right place.
Yes, ma'am, they are. They are.
All right, Ms. Hernandez.
The state would move to dismiss all citations.
All right. Mr. Nichols, I'll grant her motion to dismiss these 3 tickets. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Cause I'm on my phone, so how do I just exit out of this?
How do you what now?
Okay, I'm talking to zooming through my telephone. So how do I exit from the phone?
Tap your phone
To,
and it should let you leave meeting.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get them inside to help me because I'm here at the courthouse.
Just
Okay.
tap
All
your
right, thank you
phone.
very much.
Okay, they'll help you, Mr. Nichols.
I got this Android.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Bye now. Tamika
Bye-bye.
Nichols. I can take you off, Mr. Nichols. That would be, oh,
Yes, ma'am.
I guess
Thank
he
you.
figured it out. Tamika Nichols.
Yeah, I had figured it.
Chastity Knowlton.
Can y'all, I tried to get off of it and I think I'm still on.
Emmanuel Agbomu.
Yes, my lord. I'm where I am.
All right, so you had 3 tickets. These are from 2020. You were charged with speeding, intent violation, and improper lane change. First question is if that was your car.
No, that wasn't my car. I just went to drop off my wife at the airport. So I was coming back from the airport. So that was when the police.
Whose
And it was
vehicle
raining
was it?
then. It was my wife's vehicle.
Oh, okay. So do you or your wife still own that vehicle?
No, he was just on her name then. So
I see.
she doesn't have the vehicle no more. She had the wreck with the vehicle. So
I see. All right. So Ms. Hernandez, taking that into account, what is your recommendation if you would like to resolve these 3 tickets?
The state would move to dismiss the window tint violation. For the speeding ticket, it'll be a $50 fine. And for the improper lane change, it'll be a $50 suspended fine.
Please, can I say something, please, concerning the improper lane change? I'm sorry, please.
Well, so I don't know what you're saying, sir, but she would be willing, if you want to enter a guilty or no contest plea to improper lane change and speeding, to recommend a $50 fine on just the speeding and a suspended fine on the other, which means you wouldn't pay it, and dismiss the tent. But you don't have to do that. You can plead not guilty and come back for trial for these
My lord, I just want to make a clarification concerning the improper lane change, because I can recollect what happened, what caused the improper lane change. Can you let me explain that, or I just make a decision?
I'm sorry, Master, hang on a minute.
Hello.
Sorry, I had to mute. My son is jumping up and down making noise. So I don't know what you're saying to me, Mr. Agbomu. What do you want to do?
No, I said, can you let me make some legal comment concerning the improper lane change, because I know what exactly caused the ticket. So I'm trying to see if you can let me.
Oh,
make
you
a
want to
legal
tell
comment
Ms.
on that.
Hernandez something for her to take into account?
Yes, ma'am. But
Okay,
if not,
what do
I
you
can
want to
just-
say?
Yeah, so what really happened was when the police turned on the lights, I was on the left lane. So I didn't really want to really want to park, or I want to put the car, I want to stop on the right-hand side so I can let the traffic cars move too. So that was where I was going to the right-hand side. But fortunately, I didn't put on my trafficator light. I didn't put on the the right-hand side light before I moved down to the right-hand side to pull over for them. So that was what I think caused the improper lane change. It was when the light was on, I was trying to go on the right-hand side just to pull over on the right-hand
Okay.
lane. So
All right, I understood. Given that
And
information.
Ms. Hernandez, let me back up. I was trying to give him somebody else's other 2 tickets. He only has improper lane change.
yeah,
Oh.
I can.
Okay. Given that information, Your Honor, that doesn't. The state would recommend a $25 fine.
25?
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Do you want to resolve it with a guilty or nolo plea to pay that fine plus surcharges then, sir?
I'll go with a guilty plea.
Okay.
With a guilty.
Would you either tell us or type in your email address so we can email you the payment instructions and the exact amount?
I'll go ahead and type it on the chat.
Okay.
It's my last
Perfect.
name, my first name.
It's a good thing the clerk takes care of me. She's the one who had to point out to me I was trying to give you somebody else's tickets.
Right. I was wondering.
Okay, we see your email. All right, look for an email later on today with the instructions on how to pay this. The due date will be March 25th. Any questions, sir?
No, ma'am, and thank you for your time.
All right, bye, sir.
You have a nice day.
Ola BC Omolo. Timothy Osborne. Curtis Parson. All right, we got a few enough people that I think I can just stop yelling out names. I see Bobby Williams here. Mr. Williams.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have an attorney though, Ms. Boykin, is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and she had a conflict and was going to another court, I believe. Did she tell you that she wasn't going to be able to appear today?
No, she didn't tell me that.
She didn't
but,
tell you that? Okay. Well, I'm presuming that you want to wait for her to appear. And so I'm gonna enter this as a not guilty on, just so it can be put on a trial calendar. But between now and your next court date, she can reach out to the prosecutor if y'all want to try to work out something short of a trial.
Okay, because she gave me the link to this.
Yeah. Well, you just stay in touch with her, but we'll send you notice and her notice about when to come back. Hopefully she won't have a court conflict that next date.
Okay, thanks, ma'am.
All right. Bye, Mr. Williams.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Folks, I'm not going through the calendar. I'll find you. Hang on. So the next person I have is Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber, you had a tag ticket and a speeding violation in 2020. Was that a vehicle owned by you, sir?
That was, I have two things here.
Okay,
yeah.
you got to stop walking. It makes me dizzy. Okay. Was that car owned by you?
Yes.
I can't hear anything you're saying, Mr. Weber.
I did.
I'm sorry, I still can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Has the tag problem, whatever it may have been corrected?
I had registration at the time also. I don't know. The registration was all fine. I don't know why the sticker wasn't on the car, but my wife called up to Illinois and they just sent us down a new tag right then. So it was on their van. I have documentation to show.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez, do you have a recommendation for Mr. Weber's 2 tickets for him to consider?
Your Honor, for the speeding ticket, it'll be a $50 fine, and the state would move to dismiss the tag violation.
All right. Mr. Weber, do you want to plead guilty or nolo to the speeding ticket today, or not guilty to the both tickets?
I don't know I'm not familiar with Georgia law. I'm from Illinois. But
In Georgia, nolo saves you from getting points on your driving record. What state are you licensed in?
never had a ticket in Georgia, so.
Really can barely hear you, Mr. Weber.
Now, but I've never had a ticket in Georgia. I'm new to Georgia.
I still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on with your audio.
But I have a Georgia license now.
Okay, so NOLO might save you from some points if you want to plead that. You don't have to.
Can you hear me?
Yes, what would you like to do? Plead guilty, NOLO, or not guilty? Now I can't hear you.
NOLO?
NOLO? Mr. Weber, do you know how to use the, well, hopefully you know how to use the chat feature because we're having trouble hearing. Type your email in the chat.
It's on. I plead NOLO.
Yeah, I got you. I heard that. Thank you. Can you type your email in the chat area for us so we can email you the payment info? Great. So you'll get an email with the amount due for that ticket. The other one, the tag one's dismissed. You'll have till March 25th to pay your fine for that speeding. Any questions? Bye. Ms. Tolbert? Ms. Colbert, you had alter tag ticket and something about failing to signal when changing lanes or turning. Was the vehicle that you were driving allegedly on that date in 2020 owned by you?
Yes, ma'am.
So whatever was going on with your tag, has that been fixed or corrected?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you have anything you want to tell the prosecutor but for the other ticket?
Yes, it was me and another vehicle. We were making a right turn by the Quick Trip on Tar Boulevard. And you know, like that lane is kind of long. So when we were in it, somebody was coming out of the Quick Trip and their nose was in our lane. So we had to kind of like come out and come back in. And that's when she got behind me and she pulled me over and she was like, "Is this your car?" And I was like, "Yes, this is my car for 8 years." And she basically told me that the tag wasn't mine. And then she went on, when I told her, I was like, "I'm a veteran, I had this for 8 years. And she was like, "Well, does your signal light work?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am. I take this route home every day." So I explained to her what happened and she just wasn't trying to hear that.
All right, Ms. Hernandez, anything you want to recommend then?
Yes, given that information, Your Honor, the state would move to dismiss the citations.
All right. So I'll grant her motion to dismiss both tickets. Ms. Tolbert, any questions?
No, thank you so much.
Bye now.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Someone has signed on as Jawan's iPhone. Do you want to unmute and tell me who you are, please? Turn on your audio, sir. Sure, your audio is off.
I'm sorry, did you call Samantha Williams?
Nope.
Okay.
But I will now. Well, maybe they can figure out, Jawan can figure out how to turn his audio on. Touch your screen if it's a phone and you'll have a little symbol come up that looks like a microphone, sir. Okay. Ms. Williams, you can turn on your audio and video.
Yes, I'm trying to turn the video on.
What was your first name, Ms. Williams?
Samantha Williams.
Okay. Well, so you had 2 tickets, but you paid one of them, but then you had a tent violation ticket that's still hanging open. Did whatever was going on with the tent now, has that been corrected?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hernandez, are you willing to dismiss her tent ticket?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Williams, we'll dismiss it.
Thank
can sign
you.
off. All right. Calvin Ryder.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ryder, you had 3 tickets in 2020, a tent violation, decal violation, and obstructing your portion of your license plate. Was that a vehicle that was owned by you?
I just got the vehicle. It was already tinted. I just got my decal and I couldn't get the tag cover off. So I had it inside the car with me. I showed it to him, but he gave me a ticket for that. And there was a cover on the license plate tag, and he gave me a ticket for that as well.
Okay, so have you now reduced or stripped the tent?
I got rid of the whole truck. I did take the tent off, but I sold the truck as well.
Okay. And any questions of him then about any of that, Ms. Hernandez?
No, Your Honor. The state would move to dismiss the citations.
All right. I'll grant her motion to dismiss all 3 of them, Mr. Ryder.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I do have another ticket. Is that something I can address as well, or no?
Sure, let me pull it up if I can find it. Sorry, my computer's beeping right and left. Don't know why it's doing that.
Is it for an expired tag as well, Mr. Ryder?
Yes.
Okay, was that the same car?
No, ma'am. That was another vehicle that I had purchased. My birthday came up and I missed the deadline because I was out of town. And on my way back, I was pulled over in front of the Justice Center and given a citation.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez, then what would you like to do with that?
Wait a minute, did I pay that already?
I don't know.
Give me 1 second.
I'm having trouble pulling it up. Because this, not your ticket in particular, but I can't, now I'm disconnected from the county computer.
I do see that there was a PIA. Do you have an attorney for that?
No.
But that's been closed, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes, it says NOL on CPU8.
Pled nolo.
Nolo, yes.
Oh.
Huh?
I guess you pled nolo to that.
Okay, that'll work. And there was one more for speeding.
I do see that one, Your Honor. Let's see, 1 second.
You do not see a speeding?
I do.
Oh, is
pulling
it
it up.
open?
Yes, it is open.
Okay.
It looks like he was going 72 and a 45. If you would like to resolve it today, the state would offer a $50 fine.
Okay, so do you want to plead guilty or nolo to that one?
Nolo.
All right.
Is that still under the super speeder?
What was the speed again, Ms. Hernandez?
72 and a 45.
Is it on an interstate or other roadway that the super speeder would apply to, Ms. Hernandez?
It was off of Terra Boulevard and Mundy's Mill. Yes.
Mr. Ryder, I'm sorry because I don't remember all these traffic code violations, obviously
ma'am.
word for word out of the 5,000 that there must be now. I know super speeder is 24 miles more over, I think. I don't even know that that's true, but I thought it had to be on an interstate. I'm not sure.
Okay, I can wait for a court date to be issued then. Because
You wanna
I
just
had
wait
a
and
cluster.
have that come back up and it's,
Your
well,
Honor.
is there a court date on it, Ms. Hernandez?
There is, but for it to be a super speeder, it's my understanding that it has to be over 75 on a 2-lane road, which looks like this is that circumstance.
Oh, 75 miles an hour or more is the speed, not the amount of speed over the speed limit that's pertinent for that.
Yes.
Okay, and he's alleged to have been going 72, so that would not be a super speeder ticket, apparently, Mr. Ryder.
Okay. If that's so, I like to plead nolo.
Okay.
But if the DDS do reach out to me and suspend my license for a super speeder, is that
Well, they
something
won't
that I can come
suspend
back to
it.
court about?
Yeah, they don't automatically suspend on super speeder. What they do, if they deem it a super speeder ticket, they mail you a letter saying you got to pay some extra amount to them to avoid a suspension. So if you get such a letter, then you can just file with our clerk a motion to set aside your plea.
Okay, understand. And what is my court date for that?
I don't know that it's been scheduled. Is it scheduled, Ms. Hernandez?
It hasn't.
It hadn't, but if
No,
you want to
it
resolve
hasn't.
it today, then we'll go ahead and do it, Mr. Ryder.
Okay. Yeah, I'll resolve today. That's fine.
Okay, you want to do the NOLO on that one then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would you mind sharing your email? You can either tell us or put it in the chat area.
Sent.
Got it. All right, the clerk's going to email you then the payment instructions for the speeding, the other tickets that you had not previously resolved or dismissed. You'll have, it's going to be about $80 that will be due, but the exact amount will be on the information emailed to you to pay by March 25th, either online or in person. Hopefully that closes all your cases that were sitting around here, Mr. Ryder.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely does.
Take care. Bye now.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Ms. Boykin, I see that your conflict resolved, but your client previously was here and I had told him that he could be excused since you had a conflict.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm just on lunch for my conflict, but I wanted to know that we're maybe to speak with the state so I can at least get an offer and maybe we can have it ready to go by the next time we get on the calendar.
Yeah, Ms. Hernandez, that was on Bobby Williams, but it's a truck lane violation, I think is what the ticket was for.
Yes, Your Honor.
State would recommend a $25 fine.
Did she say 25?
Yep. So around 40 with surcharges.
And would the
The
state also
CDL driver, he's got issues though relating to a plea. So obviously you and he will need to discuss that before you come back.
Yes, Your Honor. Is it possible, is the state, would the state do a basic rules on that at the time?
I can't amend it to anything else.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Boykin.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye now. So someone is signed on as Galaxy Note 8. Sir?
Can you hear me,
Galaxy
ma'am?
Note 8 person?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your last name, sir?
Smith,
And what is your first name, Mr. Smith?
Damian.
You had an improper lane change ticket in 2020, does that sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Hernandez, do you have a recommendation if he would like to resolve it today with guilty or nolo?
Yes, the state would recommend a $50 fine.
Do you want to plead guilty or nolo to the ticket, sir, or plead not guilty and come back for trial?
Could you repeat that, what she said?
$50 fine plus surcharges, so it would be about
no
80.
law. No
All right.
law.
Great. I'll take your nolo plea. Would you please tell us or type in your in the chat area your email so we can email you the exact amount due and payment instructions?
All right.
Got it. All right, you'll get an email today from the clerk. It'll have the exact amount due to be paid online or in person by March 25th. Should be around $80. Any questions, Mr. Smith?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your patience. You can go.
All right.
Taylor Stargell or Stargell, I don't know, how to say that.
I'm here.
Yes. You had brake light violation, failure to yield the right-of-way tickets in 2020. Is it Stargell?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay. Brake light's been fixed?
Yes.
And recommendation, Ms. Hernandez, for failure to yield the right-of-way?
The state would recommend a $50 fine.
Do you want to resolve that ticket with guilty or nolo, ma'am, or plead not guilty to the tickets and come back for trial?
Nolo.
Okay, and are you willing to dismiss the brake light ticket, Ms. Hernandez, since she corrected that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so what's your email, Ms. Stargell, and we'll email you the payment information.
Okay, I think I just put it in. I think I just sent it. Uh-oh, hold on.
I'm not seeing it pop up though, so make sure you're either addressing it to everyone or to the traffic clerk, state court traffic.
Okay, okay, I sent it.
Okay, great. All right, look for that email later today. Any questions?
No.
All right, bye now. David Riley.
Yes, Your Honor. That's me, Devin Riley.
Oh, sorry. Made up a name for you, Mr. Riley. You had 10 violations, improper lane change tickets in 2020. Does that sound right to you?
Yes, this morning I just found out about all this morning.
Okay. Do you recall getting those tickets?
Yes, I do.
Was that a vehicle that was owned by you?
No, ma'am.
How did you know the person who had owned the vehicle?
I was helping him get the car out of his mom's yard. I was thinking about buying the car, but the car was his car though.
Okay. And improper lane change, did you get in an accident or the officer claims to observe that?
No, what happened was I was coming off the side street, and at the side street, it's a MARTA stop, and there was a trash bag in the lane where I have to turn off of the street. So instead of me turning in the lane and crushing the bag and busting the bag, I turned around the bag. And so he pulled me over because the car didn't have no plates on it. Then he was like, well, what happened back? What happened back there? I said, well, clearly it's a trash bag in the middle of the street. And right when I was telling him, the car came by and hit the bag and busted trash everywhere. But he still gave me the ticket. And I was like, that don't make sense.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez, what would you like to do with these tickets?
Yes, Your Honor. Given that information, the state would move to dismiss the citations.
All right. She'll dismiss them both, Mr. Riley.
Thank you. I have a blessed one.
All right, bye. Diamond W.
I'm here, Your Honor.
What is your last name?
Ray, W-R-A-Y.
Ms. Ray, you had a ticket in 2020 for following too closely. Ms. Hernandez, do you have a recommendation for her to consider?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would recommend a $50 fine.
Do you want to resolve it with guilty or nolo today, ma'am, or plead not guilty, come back for trial?
Nolo was fine. There was no accident, so does the fine still remain?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right. What is your email? You want to tell us or put it in the chat?
My name, diamondray15@gmail.com.
All right. The clerk's going to email you the payment instructions with the exact amount due. It'll be due to our clerk. It's about $80 probably by March 25th. Any questions, Ms. Ray?
Okay, thank
No?
you.
All right, bye. Mr. Walker?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Walker, you had a trailer tag ticket. Was that a trailer that you owned in 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it properly got tagged now?
Yes, ma'am. Everything's taken care of.
All right. Ms. Hernandez, are you going to ask me to dismiss Mr. Walker's ticket?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll do it. By Mr. Walker. Someone has signed on it. It says Carrie Ross and then Williams, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Turn
tell
my
me
video
what
on
your,
now.
yeah, tell me, so do you believe your ticket was written under Ross?
It's under.
It is, I've
yeah,
got them.
Ross.
I've got them, Miss
Yeah.
Ross. So you had a tag and license not on person and altered tickets. Was that a car that you owned?
Yes, ma'am. We had just got it. We had only had it for like 3 weeks, and there was an issue with the registration at the dealership. She entered something wrong, but we got it fixed.
Great. And you have a license, obviously. You just didn't have it with you apparently that day.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez?
The state would move to dismiss the citations.
All right. I'll dismiss all three of them, Mr. Ross. Any questions?
Okay. No, ma'am. That's it.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
LGK 20 plus. Please turn on your audio. Tell me who you are.
Anthony Scott.
Hello,
Hang on, Mr. Scott. Ma'am, what is your name?
Siobhan King.
Kane?
King, K-I-N-G.
King?
Uh-huh.
Ms. King, you had a ticket in 2020 for failing to yield the right-of-way. Ms. Hernandez, do you have a recommendation if she'd like to resolve it today?
The state would recommend a $50 fine.
Do you want to resolve the case today with guilty or nolo and pay around $80 to our clerk, ma'am, or plead not guilty and come back for trial?
I'll do NOLO, but is this the ticket? When was this ticket issued? In August of 2020?
It was in 2020.
Okay. Okay.
Now, all right, nolo then?
Yes, I recently just got a ticket in January with a traffic light.
Oh.
It was a camera though.
Oh, well, okay. That won't be on for today then. You'll get a court date for that if you didn't pay it with the company that monitors those.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'll plead NOLO.
Okay. So what's your email so we can email you the payment instructions for this one?
It's my name, Siobhan, C-H-A-V as in Victor, O-N-N-E .King, K-I-N-G, the number 3 @gmail.com. I'm sorry, I was on a call earlier, but I'm working at a hospital and I was walking through the hospital and I lost service. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So you'll get an email with the payment information to later on today from our clerk. Any questions?
Oh, no questions. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye now.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thanks. Mr. iPhone, unmute and tell me your name.
Anthony Scott.
Okay. Mr. Scott, you had points closed this 12th of 2020. And what is the state's recommendation if he'd like to resolve that today?
The state would recommend a $50 fine.
Okay. And then exactly a year later, Mr. Scott, you got the same kind of ticket falling through close in 2021. You remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez, do you have a recommendation for that one?
Yes, the state would recommend a $50 suspended fine.
Okay. And distracted driving ticket that's hanging open, Mr. Scott, does your vehicle have a hands-free device available?
Yes.
Will you dismiss that open case, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you want to resolve the following two closed tickets with guilty or nolo, please, Mr. Scott? Pay around $80 on one of them.
Not guilty.
For both tickets?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll put them on a trial calendar and you'll get notice. They may not be on the same calendar because it may be assigned to different judges, but you'll get notice when to appear back for trials on those tickets. Only
All right.
obligation you have now is to make sure our clerk always has your correct address.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, bye, sir. Someone has signed on, it just says pay dinero. Whoever that is, unmute.
Yeah, he's walking to the car now.
Oh, what is the last name?
Walthall.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, what is your name, sir?
Santino Walthall.
You had a speeding ticket in 2020, sir. What is the state's recommendation if you'd like to resolve that today?
The state would recommend a $50 fine.
Do you want to resolve it with guilty or nolo, sir, and pay around $80? Or do you want to plead not guilty and come back for a trial?
I want to plead guilty.
All right, what is your email, Mr. Waltall, so we can email you the payment instructions?
Yeah, it is fine. Jerry, GERRI .m.williams@gmail.com.
All right, our clerk will email you the exact amount due and payment instruction information later on today. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, bye now.
Thank you.
All right, I believe we finally talked to everybody who was on. Everybody else are court personnel.
Your Honor, I see the name Julius Walker Jr.
I think we talked to him though. He was a non-pros for his ticket or tickets for the trailer tag. But thank you.
Okay.
All right, everybody have a great afternoon. Thank you all for your help and patience. Somehow more awkward when I do this from home. I don't know why.
I agree. It's so awkward.
Oh, no, it's just disconcerted. It doesn't help that my son's upstairs jumping around. So y'all hear that?
Barely. We can't really hear it.
Just
though.
barely. Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah. It's not bad at
sounds
all.
to me like my whole house is shaking.